To our beloved Eli, I hope you'll forgive me for borrowing a hackneyed cliche from a sappy Hollywood movie. But Eli, you had me at hello. I watched you enter this world just 8 short days ago. I heard your first lusty cry, and I knew that my life had been and would be immeasurably enriched by your presence. Shortly after you were born, I placed you on my chest and laid down on the too small hospital sofa bed that clearly was not designed with me in mind. As you laid on my chest in the hospital, a feeling of warmth spread through me like I had never felt before. At the time, I could only describe it as some sort of bliss-inducing drug coursing through my veins. But I've since realized that that wasn't what it was. What I actually felt was the melting of my heart for you. Before you came around, in many ways, I was a typical guy, and that I was wary of tiny children, their fragile bodies, and stinky diapers. Yet you fit so naturally in my arms that I cannot help but feel that my hands were created to hold you, caress you, support you, and lift you up whenever you need it. Your mother has already told you about our hopes and dreams for you, how we hope to be able to create a life for you filled with health, happiness, and love, and a strong sense of self. Your mother has told you about where we hope you will go. I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about where you're from. Your first name is Eli, and you were named after your uncle, and my brother Eric. Eric was my older brother, my idol, and my best friend. You could say that Eric was the Batman to my Robin. Eric had a true zest for life, a joyful energy that would light up the room and keep people laughing for hours. To be perfectly honest, your uncle had a little bit of the devil in him. I'm not saying that he was a troublemaker, but at the same time, I think it's safe to say that trouble was vaguely aware of Eric's home address. As the younger brother of the duo, I was faithfully at his side during many of his antics, and a word of advice to you, Eli. Should you end up being blessed with a younger sibling at some time in the future, keep in mind that it's the older brother that gets blamed for everything. Still, regardless of some of the boyish stunts he pulled off as a child, you couldn't stay mad at him for long. Too frequently, you ended up either laughing along with him, or as my parents might attest, trying to hold back a giggle as you scolded him. Yet Eric was not just fun and games. He also had a strong sense of character and a strong sense of self that really was demonstrated as a young adult. He had the misfortune of incurring an eye injury in his college years that left him with severely impaired vision in both eyes. We were concerned that his life would be impaired. Yet through it all, through the tough times that he went through, he showed a determination and a sense of courage that really was impressive to everyone around him. I remember, he was probably about 1.5 years after his injury. He was home for Thanksgiving. He wanted to play me in ping pong. He couldn't see every ball. Some went out of his field of vision. But damn it, he was going to do his best. And, as part of our many marathon ping pong sessions, I think he beat me. He displayed a determination in overcoming the adversity that life showed him. And I hope that you too have that strength should anything untoward happen to you. My brother and I shared all the usual friendships and rivalries of childhood that you might imagine we did. Our summers were filled with long evenings, playing wiffle ball out on the street, or basketball in the driveway. As the older and more physically gifted brother, Eric typically held the advantage in all things physical. Be it sports or some spontaneously generated wrestling match, where it was known that I was destined to be pinned on the floor for far too long a period of time. As children, we were friends, but in many ways we were also rivals. frequently trying to best each other, and gloating endlessly after each victory, or sulking miserably after defeats. After one particular session of roughhousing, my mother warned him that, Eric of the fact that while I was smaller than him at the time and growth patterns were both on my side. My brother defiantly replied to my mother's warning that, someday David may be bigger than me, but he'll never be bigger than me. Yet as childhood rivals, we quickly became adult friends. Instead of trying to best the other in our various endeavors, we began to take pride in each other's accomplishments in their own right. I know that Eric was truly proud of me for being a brain, and at the same time I was proud of him as he went to Chicago and really established a wonderful life for himself, filled with friends. People followed him there, his college friends. He really created a community for himself and a career for himself. I'm so proud of him. I beat him in basketball, he beat me in chess, and there are only high fives and smiles instead of bruised arms or bruised egos. So Eli, in choosing to name you after your Uncle Eric, I hope you inherit a couple of his characteristics. I hope you inherit his zest for life, his joy, just his smile and his laugh. I hope you inherit the determination he displayed in overcoming adversity and life's challenges. And most important, should Melissa and I be so lucky to have another child, I truly hope you inherit all of his amazing qualities as an older brother, because I can tell you he really was a phenomenal older brother and just a joy to share my life for so long. I love you. I can't wait to watch you grow old. The heart full of love, your dad.
Amen.
Amen.